how's it going? Got a bunch of Kraft Dinner here. It's gonna be a faceless video. And I'm gonna be doing a bit of gaming. And, I was inspired by a video by Tony Bomboni. He's an ASM artist. And he showed he was stock trading on Robinhood app. And I thought it was pretty cool. He was on his cell phone doing that. I thought I'd give it a try. But I'm not going to be stock trading, I'm going to be gaming. This Kraft Dinner's really in the spot right now. This is a WeChat game. WeChat is like, what do you call it? Well, there's games on there. And you can chat to your friends and post pictures. It's kind of like Facebook in a way. But also, you can upload, or sorry, not upload, put money into your WeChat wallet because you can't connect it to your bank account. And then you can go ahead and pay for stuff with WeChat at restaurants and grocery stores and what have you. And yeah, that's pretty cool. But so I lived in China a couple of years ago, so I'm gonna start this now. Basically, you just hold your finger down on it. The longer you hold your finger down on it, the further the little guy will jump. So I'll show you. And if you just release your finger when you want to jump, and if you fall off, or if you go too far, or like you don't land on the platforms, you die. And if you land, I landed directly in the middle this time, which means you get 2 points instead of just 1 point. So I'll show you. Now, let me just see here. It's a pretty cool game because you don't have to, like, there's no time pressure to do it in a certain period of time, you know. Time constraints in games are pretty common, so. But yeah, I've been, one sec please. But yeah, I've experienced some difficulties lately with my tax-free savings account. It's my tax-free savings account matured. There we go. See, got 2 points there, and so my tax-free savings account matured, and basically it's time to renew it. But they said that they only give me 2% interest if I renewed it, which kind of sucks, considering I was making 4% interest off my tax-free savings account. Just see. And of course it gets more and more difficult because the platforms get smaller and further apart and stuff. But so my dad and my mom are currently helping me with this situation, and we're trying to find a better way to park my money. I have about $10,000 that I want to do something with, so yeah. I had somewhat of a rough day at work. I didn't problem solve as well as I thought I would. Thought I should, you know. Oh god, again. Now if you get 2 middles in a row, then you get like double the points. So you get like 4 points if you land on in the dead center, like twice in a row kind of thing. So yeah, this mac and cheese is so good. Now, yeah, I just wasn't, I do night audit at a resort, and one of the jobs we have to do for night audit is you have to find the mistakes of the servers, if they make any mistakes, the servers in the restaurant or the resort. So I kind of failed at that tonight, so I'm kind of licking my wounds, but nice, got it again, dead center. I'm sorry about all this noise upstairs. I should have people preparing for work. I guess I live in an apartment building by myself, but there's 6 apartment units in this apartment building. Another thing I did wrong is that tonight at work is I gave a girl a ride home, a girl who I work with, because there was no houseman on, and I used my own vehicle. Which is actually my parents' vehicle, but they let me use it. And yeah, I live by myself in my apartment, but I was supposed to charge that coworker of mine for that ride that I gave her, even though I was using my own vehicle, because it was company time, and we do shuttles at work. So I didn't do that. But I'll survive. Now, I'll show you what's going to happen with this next platform. You can wait on some of them, and then you'll get like more points if you wait. If you jump immediately, you land on there, and you jump immediately off, you only gain the 1 point, or the 2 points if you got dead center. But if you wait a bit on some, about 5 of these platforms, and this is one of them, you'll gain extra points. So this one gives 30 points, which is the most amount you can get, at least as far as I've gotten. So that's pretty sweet. Now, so I have watched this video of Warren Buffett. I guess probably most of you know who Warren Buffett is, but he's a billionaire. But he's very frugal. I think he lives in quite a modest house. But yeah, he was going to in the McDonald's drive-thru, and this was very much when he was a billionaire, and he's still alive, and he got some value meal, and he said that the markets are down today, so I didn't go for the $3.76 or whatever meal. I went for the cheaper one. It's crazy when I think people can be too frugal sometimes. Unfortunately, I don't have any pepper for this mac and cheese. Pepper goes good with mac and cheese. But I've been watching a lot of videos lately of point of view videos, people working at restaurants, and they show themselves making sandwiches and salads and pizza for customers and stuff. It's gonna be interesting. A lot of them are really fast and good at their jobs. But now I notice that my iCloud is just about tapped out, just about full. There's 5 gigabytes of storage in my Apple iCloud because I have an iMac, and it's almost all used. So I'm thinking about getting more. I'm also drinking zero alcohol beer. But I think the iCloud allows me to easily transfer photos and text documents from my phone to my computer and vice versa and stuff. So, but it's kind of a shame because I went for the largest amount of storage on my iPhone, which cost me a lot more money. I think it was 2 terabytes. So it's not even being used really. I'm just using iCloud. But yeah, so now, but it's really handy being able to swap around files and stuff like that. But yeah, another note for my protein, I'm mostly eating eggs and milk, which is a good way to save money because meat's expensive. But hopefully you like that sound. I'm eating out of a what do you call it, disposable container that I bought some samosas in and then washed and stuff. So, but yeah, I was gonna say also, it's nice for me to have a job that tolerates mistakes. Because remember, I worked as an ESL teacher, English as a second language teacher, at university for a brief period of time and got fired, and I did make some mistakes, and I think they fired me for those mistakes rather than trying to make me improve and learn from my mistakes and giving me second chances and stuff. So I think this job, though, I made quite a few mistakes. I work at, now I'm a supervisor, a front desk, and so that's nice. But I found out that the cable for the camera that I'm using right now, like basically I can plug it in. I can plug it into a USB-A adapter that plugs into the wall, and like an adapter for, or maybe you call it a brick that I use for my phone and stuff. And I didn't think I could do that. I was gonna, because for a long time you may have watched my old videos and heard from me that I was planning on buying a battery charging pack with a couple of batteries for this camera, because sometimes I run out of battery when I want to make long videos and stuff like that. So, but I found out that I don't actually need to do that. I can just plug it in, and I did not know that. I guess the reason I hadn't tried it before is because the cable, the USB micro cable that plugs into this camera that you use to charge it, is short, and when you plug it into the computer, it doesn't charge while you're recording. And I tried it, almost fucked her there. But I tried plugging in, I tried just plugging in just to experiment into the power adapter and then into the wall, and it does work. And so I'm just gonna buy a longer cable. That way I don't have to worry about having to stop recording just swap batteries and that bullshit, you know. So, this phone, by the way, is Huawei, which is like a Chinese brand of phone. I got this when I lived in China for a couple of years. Oh, just about screwed up there. But that's, you wait on that one. That's another 30 points, so. But yeah, I play this game pretty often. Sometimes I get bored of it. I've been playing it for years now, about 5 years perhaps. But there's another game. This is a bouncy ball game, but that game is kind of too fast-paced and crazy. I can't really talk while doing it, and then it would just turn. So I wouldn't be talking. So it would just turn into like a gaming video. And I want this to be ASMR, you know, so. But this phone is them using right now is a Huawei Nova 5 Pro. And my main phone right now is an iPhone 15 Pro Max. But this phone, I stopped using it and I got the iPhone because it's an Android phone. But you aren't able to, as far as I know, get Google Play Store on it. So you can download the apps that we use in Canada. I'm Canadian and stuff. And I'm sure in the United States, UK too, etc. So, yeah, I mainly got the iPhone because of that. But one thing I should say is that I put a plastic screen protector on this Huawei, and it kind of didn't work so well. Like, there's scratches that went right through it and scratched the screen of my phone. Whereas on my iPhone, I have a glass screen protector, and that works a lot better. I don't think my iPhone screen is scratched at all. Here's another one. You can wait a second and then you pay out. This one pays out, it's variable. Sometimes it's $5, sometimes the lights don't turn on in the store. But I would say I'm fairly good at this game. I played all the goddamn time basically. Anytime I'm lying in bed. Excuse me, I'm just gonna cough for 1 second just to clear my throat. But yeah, I'm often in bed listening to podcasts or cool videos, like this cool video by Mr. Beast, who's a huge YouTuber, but you probably heard of him. And you know, podcasts about like entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And while playing on that, do that on my iPhone, and then on this phone, I'm gaming, playing either the bouncy ball game or this game. So now I was thinking about actually making a gambling video with ASMR, but that'd be pretty crazy. It would be like me playing in the slot machines at work, you know. But I don't know. That might be too much of a. I don't want to disrespect gamblers, but that would be great. It'd be funny because I'll be making money off the video likely, because the video will probably get at least 1,000 views. And you could maybe make $10 off that video. But then of course, to make a good gambling video, I'd have to throw in at least like $60 in that machine. Which is a fair bit of money, so. But it's interesting how I can make the money back by doing the video, right? I used the wrong video. Okay. That was a bad jump there. I almost screwed up there. But, yeah, I'm thinking about as far as going with either Well Simple or Tangerine or Quest Trade Bank. I don't know if it's a bank actually, but Quest Trade, which I think most of these are Canadian, but they're investing platforms, and Tangerine is like a bank, but it's all online. And but yeah, because I'm eager to get my money in something that pays off a decent return, you know. And now, let's see what I was gonna say. Doing just straight night audit this week at work. So working the graveyard shift from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. the next day, which is alright. Now, got Friday and Saturday off 2 weeks in a row. So it's kind of good in a way, but in a way it's kind of, it seems kind of silly because I'm not going out and partying or like doing exciting things on Friday and Saturday. I do want to be grateful because I go over to my parents' place and it's nice for them to have me over and they cook dinner for us and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I get these days off, and I would have killed for those days off when I was like in my early 20s. But instead, I was working in a restaurant and where I had to work weekends, and I was going in hungover, and it was bad, and it was stressing me out. And now, let me just see here what I was gonna say. I can't believe I actually got through this most of my script already, but I'll be talking about the movie The Social Network now. So The Social Network, and now I will be doing spoilers, so I would recommend you watch the movie first, even though I'm going to be reviewing it, which might not make a lot of sense, but it's just such a good movie. But so it's basically the main character in the movie is this like actors. It's a drama, right? But it's a guy playing Mark Zuckerberg, of course, founder of Facebook. And the movie kind of starts off, and he's having like drinks with his girlfriend, and I think he mentions that he got 100% on his SAT test in high school, and he's going to the this is based, I guess it would be based around maybe 2004 or so. But don't quote me on that, I'm not quite sure. But you start to realize this guy is probably a genius. But he offends his girlfriend and kind of makes a condescending comment about what school she goes to, which is, I think, Brown University. Because Mark Zuckerberg is going to Harvard, which of course is a very difficult school to get into and stuff. And she dumps him. And, but before she dumps him, I think I forgot to say Mark is basically, how do you distinguish yourself next to when there's he says, I'm not sure if this is true, but there are more people in China with genius IQs than there are people living in the United States. Just of any kind of IQ. And so he's like, how do you separate yourself from a huge population of people who have genius IQs? Yeah, so I'm just, I thought this video that I'm doing would be different because I thought it was going to be like me playing the game constantly, this game, and, not taking these long breaks in between jumps. But it's kind of, I find it a little bit difficult to do both at the same time, read the script and keep playing the game and stuff, so. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you like it. But now, shortly after getting dumped, Mark blogs about his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend now, makes a offensive remark about her bra size not being very big. And he starts drinking and then hacking. He hacks into Harvard's network, and he creates a website that ranks the hotness of girls and stuff like that. And everybody finds out about this, and the page gets a huge amount of views. And then Mark later on gets in trouble for this. And so he's a very gifted programmer, Mark. Computer programmer. And now, so Mark gets in shit for this. But a couple of guys, the Winklevoss twins, who are also Harvard students, hear about this. Now they want to Mark to work for them because they have an idea for a website. And now, before I should have mentioned, and reason I didn't is because I suck at these. So Mark has a good friend. His name is Eduardo Savern. And Eduardo is a smart guy, and in the movie he seems like a good friend. And but the Winklevoss twins have an idea for a dating website called Harvard Connection, which can help girls get with guys who go to Harvard. And they want Mark to help them, so they confront Mark. And they say, do you want to work for us? And this will help you rehabilitate your image. Because a lot of girls end up basically getting pissed at Mark and hating Mark. There's a scene where Mark's in a class, computer class. And these girls pass a note to him that says, "You dick." And then Mark just leaves the class. He seems to be hurt. And then but on his way out, the prof says something like, "Don't worry, Mark, Mr. Zuckerberg, brighter men than you have, or individuals, not men, but have tried and failed this class, blah, blah, blah." And then Mark, answers the question that the prof posed to his class. And then Mark was correct. The prof says he's correct. And so does everybody know how he got there? So now Mark agrees to work on the website for the Winklevoss twins, and there's another guy, I forget his name, but he's a business partner and friend of the Winklevoss twins. And he's in on the website as well. Now, basically what happens then is that Mark goes to Eduardo Savern, who has a lot of money because he did something with heating oil, and he got rich basically. He has to do stock trading or something. And he says, I got an idea for a website, Eduardo. And it's not the Facebook as we know it today. It's just actually a website just to be used at Harvard, where it's like a Facebook, but only for Harvard students basically. And where people can share pictures and connect with other people, other students and stuff like that, and add their friends and stuff like that. And Mark says, I'm going to need money to buy, I think, equipment for the website and stuff like that. And Eduardo agrees. And so Eduardo, I think he was going to get 30% of the earnings, and Mark would get 70%. Because it would be mostly Mark's. Is his idea, or that's what he's saying. And Mark would be doing most of the work. Just about vector. So now, so Eduardo agrees, like I said, and now, basically, what happens is Mark continually tells the Winklevoss twins that there's problems with the site and that he can't meet with them about to work on the site and stuff like that. And he's continually delaying them. All the meanwhile, he's working on the site. So he kind of stole the Winklevoss twins' idea. But then again, I'm not totally sure on that, because Winklevoss twins' website was a dating website. Mark's idea is just kind of like a friendship thing, a friendship website, right? So I think they're different website ideas, but I think Mark keeps delaying the Winklevoss twins and their business partner so that he can get a head start on working on the site. And then he rates the site, Mark. And then the Winklevoss twins find out about it, and they're pissed, and they want to sue Mark. So there's a lot of the movie is like during a deposition, which I'm not totally sure if that would have happened in real life. Like, there was depositions, but when let me just see, when a suspect is, what do you call it, is being questioned by a lawyer, I think it doesn't usually happen with everybody in the room, and that's basically what happens in the movie. Like, 'cause I saw a lawyer speak on YouTube about this, and he's like, the Winklevoss twins probably wouldn't be in the same room as Mark Zuckerberg while the Winklevoss twins lawyer is questioning Mark Zuckerberg about this. But in the movie, they're all in one room, and they get into arguments and stuff like that, and it makes it very interesting. And I just died there. Whoops. Okay, I'll try that again. And I usually make it a lot further. Definitely blaming you guys. No, I'm just kidding. But now I'll try to make it further than where I just died there. Now, what happens basically is that Eduardo is a great friend to Mark Zuckerberg. And basically what happens is let me just see, Sean Parker, who is the founder of Napster. And if you're a young individual, you might not, and you haven't seen the movie and stuff like that, I feel like you might not know who Sean Parker is. I don't know too much about him, but he was basically one of the founders of Napster, which was a file share program where you could download music for free. And then they got sued, and there was a lawsuit, and they lost. And so Sean Parker was this kind of disgraced individual. But Sean Parker, he gets word that Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo Saverin had created this website called the Facebook, because he gets with this chick, I think in a university in California. I forget if is it Stanford, but and then she is because Facebook has expanded, right? And then so he finds the Facebook on this chick's computer because the laptop was just open, and then he's like, it intrigues him, I guess. And he finds Mark Zuckerberg on there. And then he wants to meet Mark Zuckerberg. And so they have dinner together. And then Sean Parker, though, he shows up late. And Eduardo's there with his girlfriend. And I don't think... Mark Zuckerberg's there with... Eduardo's there with his girlfriend. And I don't think Mark's there with the girl that he got with, because there was a couple of groupies that Mark and Eduardo got with, basically. And then Eduardo, nice, I got dead center there. Eduardo, I guess, made one, or he became boyfriend and girlfriend with one of the girls. I'm sorry, guys, and I'm not explaining this very well. I'm kind of worn out from work. Even though there was a long period at work where I did not work very hard, but to be honest with you. But let me just see. So basically, they have this, Sean Parker shows up late for the dinner, and then, basically though, Mark is so fascinated with Sean Parker and everything he has to say, because before Sean Parker came, Mark's like, well, he founded Napster, and it's a big deal, and blah, 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 and, but Eduardo, he already has some, what do you call it? He has this uneasy feeling about Sean Parker because he was sued, and he has this reputation of being this wild card, crazy guy, and but they start having dinner together, and Sean Parker is very charming, and then he basically what happens is he kind of takes a couple of shots at, well, he seems disinterested in Eduardo and more interested in Mark, even though Eduardo is also is one of the basically owners of Facebook. I think his title is CFO, Chief Financial Officer. So basically, yeah, actually, Eduardo and Sean Parker have a little skirmish verbally at that dinner, and basically, and then Sean Parker says some advice to Mark and Eduardo to change the name from the Facebook to just Facebook because it's cleaner. So now what happens basically is that what do I say? Mark gets the idea to go to California because I think it's Cambridge, correct me if I'm wrong, or is it Boston, where Harvard is, basically, because Eduardo's also a Harvard student. And Mark goes to California without Eduardo, and Eduardo stays back basically in Harvard and is chasing down advertiser revenue. So he's going to different businesses trying to get them to advertise on Facebook. Now Mark doesn't want to advertise on Facebook. That's the thing. Because basically he thinks that Facebook is cool and the advertisements aren't cool. Now Eduardo is not having a very successful time tracking down advertisers for Facebook. And now Mark moves to California, and he gets a house there, and the Facebook starts to really take off, and he gets a bunch of people working for him, a bunch of young folks, and they're living with him there, and they're just programming and partying, and Sean Parker finds out that Mark's living there, and he gets acquainted with them. And there's this scene where basically Eduardo, it's a very important scene, or what do you call it, a set of scenes. Eduardo comes to the house in California where Mark's living, and it's in the rain. It's raining heavily, and then he's like ringing the doorbell and nobody's answering, and eventually Sean Parker goes to answer the door, and then basically he opens the door and Eduardo's there, and he's like, Mark was supposed to pick me up at the airport an hour ago. And then Sean Parker's like, oh, he was on a coding tear and he took a nap for a couple of hours. And then basically there's Eduardo sees two girls in the living room there playing video games, which he suspects are underage. And he asks Sean how old those girls are. And Shaw says that it's not polite to ask. And then Sean says basically, like, you think you know me, right? And then Eduardo's like, I've read enough. And then Sean Parker says to Eduardo, you know much I've read about you? Nothing. Which is a pretty big diss. Very good writing. But I think Aaron Sorkin, I think his name is, I could be wrong. That's my movie review. Not done yet, but it's like I don't even know who wrote the film. But now, Mark, Eduardo, and Sean Parker getting to the skirmish, and then Mark appears, and basically he says like, you should check out the wall, where it's just like on Facebook, I guess, where I'm not sure exactly. I forget. I think there used to be the wall. Maybe there still is the wall. Where you post pictures or something, but let me just see. Got a couple of hops here. But and then maybe Eduardo does attack Sean a little bit, but Sean is clearly more vicious than Eduardo is, and hurts his feelings, I think. And basically, Eduardo's like, Sean Parker is a house guest living here rent-free, blah blah blah, on a various generous grant from the Eduardo Savern Foundation, because I think Eduardo donated a bunch of money to Mark so that he could get the house, pay for the rent on the house and stuff, and in California. And Sean's like, I've heard about your big ticket ad buys, Snookies Cookies, and then tuxedos, something Harvard tuxedos, and no, he says you're just a very short distance away from begging Snookies Cookies, which is like basically what he's saying is a small time company, Snookies Cookies, basically, and even if he gained them as an advertiser, it wouldn't do much for Facebook. So yeah, I mean, he's a total dick, Sean Parker, in that film. And then Eduardo's like, Mark, let's go talk privately for a sec. And Eduardo's like, I don't want that guy representing himself as part of this company. And then Mark's like, I'm scared you're gonna get left behind. Eduardo, you need to move out here. And then Eduardo's like, but I've been riding subways for 14 hours a day and stuff like that, trying to find advertisers. And Mark's like, well, how's that working out for you? And then because Mark was like, he says, I'm scared you need to move out here because I'm scared you're gonna get left behind. And then yeah, so that, okay, so basically what happens then is that Eduardo afterwards goes and freezes the account, because Eduardo at that point was still providing the funds for Facebook, but he freezes the bank account for Facebook. And then shortly after that, Mark calls Eduardo, very pissed, beyond pissed. And he's just like, did you freeze that account? And Eduardo's like, yes, it did. And it's like, Mark's like, basically, you could have ruined everything that I've been working on. And Eduardo's like, no, it's that we have been working on, not just you. And Mark's like, the thing about Facebook is that separates us from other internet businesses like MySpace and Friendster, and is that we don't crash ever, and that the users are interconnected, or disconnected, I forget. And that one crash can mean that some people drop out of Facebook, and then if one domino goes, then the other dominoes go, and stuff like that. And that like one user goes, and then their friends go, and it's like a chain reaction. So basically, Eduardo's like, well, I'm sorry, I just need to get your attention though. And then at the end of the conversation, Mark's like, okay, you know what, you need to just come over to California because I need my CFO, and I'm gonna need you. And then Eduardo goes out there, and then these two lawyers approach Eduardo, and they're like, you need to sign some papers. Eduardo doesn't realize what he's signing, basically. And basically, he's getting fucked over. But Eduardo, like, he thinks he knows what he's signing. And, yeah, but, okay, so, and then a little bit later in the film, Eduardo comes back to, I'm skipping ahead of some stuff. Basically what happens is that Sean Parker sets up this meeting with Peter Thiel and his colleague. And Peter Thiel's like, I think maybe a billionaire, and he owns a hedge fund. And they present the Facebook to him, and then Thiel agrees to make an angel investment of, I think, $500,000 to the Facebook. So, and then he's like, and then next thing you know, Facebook, they got this huge office and they're doing really well. They're on their way to 1 million users. And they call Eduardo in there, and Eduardo goes into this office with a couple lawyers, the Facebook's lawyers, Mark's lawyers, and they give him some documents to sign again, for Eduardo. And Eduardo's like, what is this? And basically he starts actually reading the documents at this point in time, and he realizes he's getting fucked over, basically. And then he storms out of there, and he's pissed as all hell. And he walks over to Mark, and Mark's on his laptop. And then Eduardo grabs Mark's laptop and slams it down the table and breaks it. And it says basically, what the hell, and how much were Sean Parker's shares diluted. And then basically, and how much were your shares diluted, Mark? Because basically their shares weren't diluted, but Eduardo's was down to from 30% to 0.03%, I think. So Eduardo was basically after, if you sign those documents, or actually even if you didn't sign the documents, he was going to get paid a lot less from the Facebook, even though the Facebook was doing really well. And Eduardo's like, you set me up, and Mark's just like, well, you're gonna be the business head of this company and you don't even know what you're signing and stuff like that. And Eduardo, like, he looks like he's about to cry. He's very angry, and he's like, I can't believe you did this to me. And he says to him, like, he says to Mark, he's like, you better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not just coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything. And it's super epic when he says that. And it's great acting by, I think his last name's Garfield. And but there's great acting all throughout. Justin Timberlake was amazing as Sean Parker. I think it's Jesse Eisner, I think it is, who plays Mark, was great. And so basically, Mark ends up getting sued by the Winklevoss twins, by the Eduardo Savern, and but basically, and it kind of Sean Parker, he does cocaine with a bunch of young folks, and he gets caught, and then he gets fired by Mark, and then Mark at the end, he's just trying to add his ex-girlfriend that I talked about at the beginning of this video. Okay, I'm not sure what just happened. I just recorded a bunch of video there and made some progress in because some people think that if Facebook ever becomes irrelevant, then it won't be timeless. But it's really a movie about betrayal. And betrayal is a movie that's a circumcising. Betrayal, of course, is a story that's as old as humankind. So, Mark betrayed his friend in the movie. And, hopefully the audio comes through okay for this. But, weather's been kind of cold lately. It's March here in Canada right now. And, but I think it'll warm up quite soon. March is a milder month in terms of winter months in Canada, so I'm looking forward to getting outside, going for walks. It's good for my mental health. But, I was thinking about getting a Scotiabank credit card that gives seat points, which can be redeemed for flights, discounts on flights and hotels and stuff like that. But I already have one, which is an American Express Gold. And yeah, I'm on a roll. But I'm looking for a no annual fee credit card. And the problem is the credit card that is no annual fee that gives seat points that Scotiabank has. It doesn't give very many points per dollar you spend. The credit card that I have, Scotiabank American Express Gold, gives 5 points per dollar spent on grocery stores and eating out and dining and stuff. So yeah, I think I should rather go with the President's Choice credit card, which is for Superstore, basically, which is a grocery store in Canada. And you get points and when you buy groceries, and then you can get discounts. You redeem the points for discounts on food and stuff like that. On groceries at Superstore, that is. So I think I'm probably gonna get that, because for a while there I didn't know if I was coming or going, because before I got this promotion at work, I was thinking maybe I'd have to move away, find a new job and stuff like that. But maybe I'd move away to some place far away from Superstore. But now that I'm staying put, I think I probably, because of the promotion and the supervisor experience I gained from this, I think I should probably maybe just get that credit card, President's Choice credit card. But what else was I saying? Yeah, it's a shame I was eating a big bowl of raisin bran. And because I know a lot of people who watch these videos like the eating sounds. But I have no idea what happened there with record with the Blue Yeti microphone and stuff. So yeah, but I mean, if it broke, I guess it probably won't be too bad, because I've had that microphone now since basically shortly, I guess when I started. Yeah, I think I started without the microphone Blue Yeti, but I bought it shortly after I started making ASMR videos about 4 years ago. And so it had been a good microphone for a while there, for about 4 besides the break, I mean, the $200 I spent on it is probably still well spent, I would say. But, yeah, let me just see. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't know what much else to talk about. I probably, I was kind of hoping I fell off there because I'm running out of things to talk about, but I feel like I should probably keep going until I fall off one of these platforms. Or not fall off, but like either land short